which he has. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not actually a speech. It's just brief remarks, Your Excellency. I have a privilege of being deputized by Lucy Mulili. She was a former county commissioner at 3 counties, Nandi, Kericho, and Kakamega. And last post was here at Konza. She was the one in charge of the money that Mr. Engineer Tanui was spending. Allow me, Your Excellency, first and foremost, to acknowledge Engineer Tanui. Now, when Engineer Tanui came here, of course, for the local politics, we were thinking they should have hired a Mutiso or a Mutua or something like that. But Engineer Tanui has proved that it doesn't matter who you appoint to whatever position and wherever they are. They can still, as long as they are competent, they can serve. Engineer Tanui has served this region, balanced the politics. Usisikie wanaongea tu, has balanced all of us to the extent then you don't have problems. There's a young lady who I must recognize, and I hope she's here, June Chepkemei. Uko There's a lady by the name June Chepkemei. That is the second person I want to recognize for the work they did, including making sure that the title deed for this region, for this 5,000 acres, is securely in the hands of Konza. Thanks to Engineer Tanui. Your Excellency, this development here is significant, and let me tell you why. This was Malili Cooperative Society land, this one. It was just given name Konza to beautify it. But otherwise, we are standing in Malili sublocation. Wow, wengine wasikudanganye. Wasikudanganye. Now, our forefathers, including my own grandfather, invested in buying this land. And they were not educated. But they died and left share certificates. So the owners and the people who sold the 5,000 acres, those people were not educated like all my friends here and ourselves. But now, you have launched the most modern university in Konza. Mpigieni Rais makofi. And it will be inexpensive, it will be cheap, people can learn from home. And in our discussions that we have had, this region with the national fiber optic cable, the one that terminates all the way in our headquarters. And I have requested, Your Excellency, that this national fiber optic cable moves from our county commissioners' offices to ourselves and to create hotspots. And our county commissioners have been working well. Ours of Makueni is here. I've seen him. Your Excellency, that is the solution in terms of technology. Now, in this area, this particular area, and I've mentioned to you, the success of this city is pegged on several things. One, energy. Thank you to PS and Waziri for making sure that we have the first facility that is going to provide energy and is right here. The energy that I had from the PS is enough to power all the counties and give extra for Mombasa. Simupigia wadau makofi. The second one, Your Excellency, is water. So there are two sources of water. One is Twake Dam that will bring water all the way to Konza. Deputy Governor Mwangangi has mentioned to you the problems of the pollution. That doesn't bother me because if we are in the task force, you may not know. You agreed to my proposal that Makueni and Machakos be included in the task force. There is water across from Kajiado. It's called the Noltresh water. I will shock you, Your President, that there's a tank not too far away from here that is 14 million liters. Now, that system is old, was launched by the former President Moi, is vandalized. I've attempted to seek your arbitration. It has not worked. My proposal to you is that if what Ambassador Macharia then wrote to me, that Exim Bank had agreed to do a new pipeline of water that would come to Konza, would be the greatest thing you can do, both to Konza, but then the water, since it will come through the highway, it can help the people of Makueni. These people along this highway that feeds Nairobi, that everybody passes, that has got SGR, that has got everything else going to Nairobi. It's unfortunate that we do not have water. And even when the water is available, Mheshimiwa Rais, it costs you nearly 40 shillings to buy a jerrycan of water. In a new Kenya, that is an injustice. And therefore, Your Excellency, I am proposing, alongside the proposal that you have mentioned of having a dual carriage all the way up to Emali. What maybe Mheshimiwa Mwengi Mutuse here, MP Kibwezi West, will tell you is that the only economic corridor existing in this region lies between Namanga, through Emali, to Okia, all the way to Garissa Road. There's a road there that has been promised since 1963 that can open Kajiado, Makueni, Machakos, all the way to Garissa. It's called the Economic Corridor that Kenya has already planned. I've given you a booklet. That booklet, the red booklet I've given you, contains the problems of Makueni. All of them, that one. From water to infrastructure to ICT to education. I've bound it well so that Farouk doesn't lose it. At a good opportunity, together with my colleagues, and we work with them with the leadership in Makueni, we will tell you what we want to do. We have already offered land for affordable housing. We are ready. Just say, ngwe, tutakuja, tufanye hiyo maneno. Phase 1 of Thwake is important for us, Your Excellency, the provision of water that will come to Wote to make sure that the Wote becomes the city that it is envisioned. I have finished. But let me check my notes so that I'm not blamed for not saying something I shouldn't have said. Your Excellency, across behind here is the SGR. The SGR can provide both transport and communication to Konza City. We call it kilometer 26. It's on the other side. If in whatever it is that you want to do in terms of developing Konza, the SGR and a kilometer road can be done. It would help us to ensure that people who are going to live here can then, of course, access this place. Mr. President, we want to promise our support. And that support comes by virtue of the fact that we took oath to work for the people of Kenya. In my case, the people of Makueni. I didn't leave the Senate to become a sitting duck in Makueni. I left the Senate to ensure that the people of Makueni can enjoy the fruits of devolution. If that means that we have to sit with you so that the people of Makueni benefit, that will happen without any apologies. The buffer zone that surrounds the city is being planned. We will ask the ministry to help us. The chair of that buffer zone is the ECM of lands from Makueni, Dr. Sonia, and at an appropriate point, when everything is ready, Your Excellency, we will call upon you to help us plan the buffer zone, because the success of this city is making sure that then you don't have slums here. I launched a very interesting project, and I mentioned to you, Kenyans living in Ireland came together in 2015. They started raising 23 pounds per person, per week, 100 of them. We did the mathematics. It was 345,000 shillings remitted to Kenya. They were doing 17 million shillings a year. They bought land across here. They are doing 200 modern homes. When I say Kenya must have peace, it's important, Your Excellency, that we have peace in this country, because it is that peace that will bring us the sort of investment I have seen from that. We trust you, and Kenyans trust you. The sword we gave you is to rule the country. Do it without fear or favor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Governor. Your Excellency, before I make a remark, I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Vice Chancellors from our public universities and our private universities. Please be upstanding for a moment. Vice Chancellors, or